Behind the dazzling three-pointers and championship glory, Steph Curry carried a promise made on Oakland's cracked courts, a promise broken to his childhood best friend. When fate brings him face-to-face with Marcus, now homeless on San Francisco streets, Curry discovers his greatest challenge isn't on the court, but in redeeming a friendship left behind. On a cool December morning near the Chase Center in San Francisco, Steph Curry, the basketball phenomenon whose extraordinary talent continues to revolutionize the game, was leaving the venue after working with young prospects. His mind wasn't on basketball, though. A strange emptiness followed him, like he'd left something important behind long ago. As his car navigated the streets of Mission Bay, Curry's gaze drifted through the window. The modern buildings blended with older neighborhoods, reminding him of Oakland, where he used to visit community courts with his father Dell, chasing a ball with big dreams in his head. His attention suddenly fixed on the sidewalk where, in the shadow of an old oak tree, sat a man huddled in a tattered coat. Something about him seemed oddly familiar. The way his shoulders hunched, the profile of his face. It stirred memories from long ago. "Stop the car," Curry said abruptly. The surprised driver glanced back. "Sir, we're almost at the hotel." "Stop the car," Curry repeated, his gaze locked on the man. As the vehicle pulled to the curb, Curry stepped out, each movement cautious, as, if afraid, the figure might vanish. The man kept his head down, thin hands clutching a plastic bag. On his wrist, a worn leather bracelet caught the sunlight, a bracelet Curry couldn't forget. Over 20 years ago, on a cracked concrete court in East Oakland, two boys had exchanged bracelets, swearing to conquer the world together. "Marcus," Curry's voice trembled. The man jumped, looked up with wide eyes, then quickly looked away. "No, you've got the wrong person," he mumbled, but Curry crouched down, putting himself at eye level. "Marcus, it's me, Steph." After a moment of silence broken only by distant traffic, the man looked up again, his eyes glistening. It was indeed Marcus, Curry's childhood best friend from Oakland, the boy who once ran like the wind through neighborhood streets. Now he was barely recognizable, worn down by life's hardships. "Steph," Marcus whispered, reaching out before stopping, ashamed of his dirty hands. Curry didn't hesitate, grabbing Marcus's hand and pulling him into a warm embrace. "Why are you here? Why didn't you look for me?" Curry asked, his voice choked with emotion and guilt. Years ago, he'd promised never to abandon Marcus, but fame and the bright lights of arenas had taken him far away. "I didn't want you to see me like this," Marcus replied, almost inaudibly. "You're Steph Curry, and I'm nothing, just a failure. Go away before someone sees you talking to me." His words pierced Curry's heart. He sat beside his friend on the curb, ignoring his expensive clothes and curious onlookers. "Remember when we sneaked away to play basketball in the rain?" Curry reminisced, voice warm with memory. "You said if I missed my shot, you'd steal my dad's shoes. I was so scared I aimed perfectly." Marcus laughed softly, a sound that still carried life. "Actually, you missed. But I said it was okay so you wouldn't worry." "That's what I mean," Curry said earnestly. "You were always there for me, believing in me even when I doubted myself. Now it's my turn. I won't leave you here, Marcus. Not again." Marcus shook his head, hands trembling. "I've ruined everything. My family, my dreams. I don't want to drag you down." Curry placed a firm but gentle hand on Marcus's shoulder. "You're not dragging me anywhere. You're the reason I never forgot where I came from. I promised we'd do great things together. I've broken that promise long enough." After a moment of silence, Marcus sighed deeply. a heavy but liberating breath. "You're still as stubborn as ever, Steph." Curry smiled and extended his hand. "Come with me. Just a meal, a warm place to sleep. If you want to come back afterward, I won't force you. But give me a chance to be your friend again." Marcus hesitated, looking between the cold sidewalk and Curry's sincere face. Then, as if glimpsing light through darkness, he grabbed Curry's hand and let himself be helped up. At a small, cozy restaurant, they sat in a discreet corner. Marcus ate slowly, savoring each bite of his. Burger-like it might be his last good meal, his hands still trembling slightly. "What happened after I left for Davidson?" Curry asked gently. Marcus clutched his glass, his voice extracting broken memories. "When you left, I was happy for you, truly. But I didn't have your talent. I tried working at the port, then security. But money was never enough. I got into gambling, lost control, lost everything. Money, apartment, even my wife and kids left." He paused, taking a deep breath before continuing. "I came to San Francisco 3 years ago thinking I'd start fresh, but ended up on the street. Sometimes I'd stand outside Chase Center during games, imagining you inside, telling myself at least one of us made it." Curry lowered his head, struck by guilt. "I promised I'd find you. I thought you were okay. I failed you, Marcus." "Don't say that," Marcus replied, his gaze softening. "You had your own world to manage, your team, family, your legacy. I ruined my own life. Being here with you makes me feel alive again, even if just a little." "Not just a little," Curry said firmly. "I don't know everything you've been through, but I know you're still my brother who taught me never to give up. You deserve better, Marcus." That night, Curry took Marcus to a small apartment in Oakland he'd arranged. "It's yours, at least until things get better," he said, revealing a stocked refrigerator and clean sheets. Marcus stood in the middle of the room, disbelieving. "You don't have to do this, Steph." "Listen," Curry said. "It's just a place to sleep, wash up, eat. You don't owe me anything. Let's say I'm paying back all those times you let me win in Oakland." Marcus laughed, but his smile quickly disappeared. "Steph, I'm not just homeless. I'm addicted to gambling. Every time I pass a casino, it's like a demon drags me in. I'm afraid I'll end up disappointing you." Curry thought about the times he'd faced pressure on the court, moments when giving up seemed easiest. "When I was going through my ankle injuries in the early days with the Warriors, there were times I thought I wasn't cut out for this. But I had teammates who believed in me. Now I'm your teammate, Marcus." He took out his phone and called a therapist friend, arranging treatment. "You don't have to do this alone," he assured Marcus. The next morning, Curry brought Marcus new clothes and took him to the Warriors Basketball Academy. At first, Marcus felt out of place amid the gleaming facility and energetic young players, but he couldn't help noticing a 15-year-old boy, number 7, struggling with positioning. If he took 2 steps back to receive the ball, the defender wouldn't intercept it, Marcus muttered. Curry relayed the advice to the coach, and sure enough, the adjustment worked. For the first time in years, Marcus felt useful. The path wasn't easy. In his first therapy session with Dr. Johnson, Marcus admitted his fears. "There are nights when I dream of casinos and cards. I'm afraid of going back." Dr. Johnson looked at him with understanding. "Being afraid is normal, Marcus. But you're here, talking about it. That's the first step." Over the following weeks, Marcus battled his addiction. One night, he nearly relapsed when passing a casino, the neon lights beckoning like an old friend. But he thought of the academy and young number 7, who had thanked him for his advice and managed to turn back, running to his apartment with sweat on his brow. When he told Curry about the episode, expecting disappointment, Curry simply patted his shoulder. "You won this battle, Marcus, one step at a time." Marcus began connecting with the young players, especially Jamal, number 7, a boy from a poor Oakland neighborhood with dreams of becoming a professional. The boy reminded Marcus of himself, with an overworked mother and absent father. For the first time, Marcus found purpose in helping someone other than himself. One afternoon, Jamal pulled Marcus aside and handed him a crumpled letter. "I wrote to my mom," the boy said shyly. "I told her I want to be like you, not just good at basketball, but strong no matter what." Reading the boy's sincere words, Marcus felt warmth spread through him. "You'll get there, because you're already stronger than I am." One day, Curry called with unusual excitement. "The Warriors are looking for an assistant coach for the youth development program. I think you're perfect for it." "Are you kidding? I don't have a degree or experience," Marcus protested. "You teach better than many coaches I've known. Come talk to them." Reluctantly, Marcus agreed. At the interview, faced with 3 serious Warriors staff members, he was asked why they should hire someone with no official coaching experience. "I don't have a degree," Marcus admitted, voice trembling but sincere. "But I grew up with basketball. I know what it's like to have nothing but a ball and a dream. I lost everything because of my mistakes, but I'm learning to get up day after day. I want to teach young people not just how to shoot, but how to rise when life knocks them down." When questioned about his gambling addiction, Marcus was honest. "I can't promise to be perfect, but I have a friend who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I have kids in Oakland who look at me as a role model. Every day I fight against temptation, but I fight for them." When asked about his basketball knowledge, Marcus finally felt confident. He stood up, took paper and pen, and sketched a diagram explaining positioning tactics he'd observed with Jamal. 2 days later, Marcus received the call. He'd gotten the job. He stood frozen, looking out at the Oakland street, tears flowing freely. Not from pain, but joy. "I made it, Steph," was all he could say when he called Curry. When his first salary arrived, Marcus sat at his kitchen table, hands trembling as he stared at the amount. After years of homelessness, this wasn't just money. It was proof he could start over. That night, he showed Curry the check, voice choked with emotion. "Without you, Steph, I'd still be under that bridge. This isn't just money. It's proof I'm worth something. I want to use it to help kids like me." "Tell me what you're thinking," Curry encouraged. "I want to do something for Oakland children like Jamal. A place where they can play basketball, study, and know they're not alone. I'd like to call it Street Stars." Curry grinned widely. "That's brilliant. I'm with you. Where do we start?" With Curry's support, Marcus launched Street Stars, a program not just teaching basketball, but offering tutoring, counseling, and scholarships for disadvantaged youth in Oakland. He worked tirelessly, finding families and inspiring others through his own journey from homelessness to coach. At the program's launch in spring 2025, hundreds gathered on the renovated court. Marcus stood center court, nervous but determined. "I was once wandering out there with nothing," he began, his voice steady. "I thought I deserved nothing. But a friend found me, believed in me, and gave me the opportunity to be here today." He looked at Curry with gratitude. "I want you children to know that even if life knocks you down, you are stars, and street stars will be the place where you can shine. Jamal hugged Marcus before addressing the crowd. Uncle Marcus taught me that dreaming isn't just about playing basketball. It's about becoming a good person. Thank you, Uncle Marcus. Thank you, Uncle Steph. A little girl ran up to Marcus with a drawing of a basketball surrounded by stars. "My shining Marcus," she said. He knelt down and embraced her, heart overflowing. Afterward, Curry pulled Marcus aside. "You make me proud, not just because you changed, but because you're changing these children's worlds." Marcus smiled. "No, Steph, you changed my world. I'm just giving back a little of what I received." Under the spring sun, the court echoed with children's laughter. Marcus watched his street stars chasing a ball, knowing his painful journey had led him exactly where he belonged.